Good evening and welcome in, everybody. How we all doing? We're back again. I do apologize for the, PC malfunction last evening, so we're going to bring our Pro-Am division here to you this evening. Now, this is not live as it's happening, unfortunately. This race still went on last night as scheduled, but we are going to do it via the replay like we have in the past when we've needed to do so due to, equipment malfunctions. So, of course, this is presented, by DMJ Room North America, and EU is partnered with LWR Design and DDR Racing. Special shout out to Fanatec and GT Omega, and I'm your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Extra shout out to High Pre Graphics for, all the beautiful visuals and designs we see here throughout the overlays throughout the broadcast, week in and week out. Great team to make DMJ here. So it is round 9 of season 3. It's the second last round for the Pro-Ams, and, every point matters. Every position matters. Every second on the track counts. And every mistake definitely counts. So we have a absolutely full grid tonight. 15 drivers here to take on New York's Watkins Glen International Speedway. It should be a good time. It's a 40-minute race. There was a 15-minute qualifier before this race. We won't have that for you here this evening, so we'll just be going straight into the race, and we will go through the grid before we start that race for everybody. The racing mandatory racing tire is the hards. Pit window is at the end of lap 4, and it is fairly sunny out there, and a 10 multiplier on the series. Wrong button. Sneak peek. Alright, race specific details, ladies and gentlemen. It is 5 times tire wear and 3 times fuel consumption. So every time the drivers go around the racetrack one time, they're using 5 laps worth of tires and 3 laps worth of fuel. It is a balance of performance and no tuning setup, which means all the cars, power, weight, ratio-wise, are all the exact same. Traction control and anti-lock braking are allowed for the drivers. Heavy damage is turned on. The track edge is real. The slipstream is real. Track line penalties are on weak, so we let the in-game penalty system help us do some in-race officiating. Pit line penalties are also on, and all our flag rules are on. It is a grid start with a false start check, so the drivers got to make sure they don't jump that light. They got to make sure they wait till that green flag drops before they hit that gas pedal, or they will be penalized immediately on the line. Fuel refill rate is 5 liters per second. It is race for real conditions, and the mandatory tire must be used for at least 1 full circuit lap. That does not include the out lap or the in lap. So essentially, a driver has to pit, take that tire, run that lap, run another lap, and then run another lap to get off that tire. Essentially, they're running 3 laps in order to get that tire mandate met here in the series in Season 3. All right, Watkins Glen. Let's talk about Watkins Glen just a tiny little bit here before we kick this thing off. We got Cody Bass coming in going, let's go. Payme saying fire. Let's go racing, says Kilt. Appreciate all the likes and shares from Kilt and the like from Aaron Bensing as well. So Watkins Glen International, ladies and gentlemen, again, like I said, in New York. So at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, you'll see a little blue dot with a white arrow in it. That arrow is pointing to the left-hand side of the track maps on your screens. That is our start-finish line. That is where the drivers are going to start off here this evening. From there, we head towards the left side of the track. That is the first corner, and they call it the 90. From there, you get a little bit of a nice straightaway, and this is just a long, full power section, about a quarter of the way around Watkins Glen. At this point, you head up into some uphill, undulating S's, down a back straight, and right up at the top right-hand side of the track map, we head into what would be corner 5, 6, 7, and 8 as the bus stop. We all know that's one of the fun spots here at Watkins Glen. Once we come out of the bus stop on the right-hand top side of the track map, we come into turn number 9, which is the carousel. From there, we head down the chute into the laces, and then right on the right-hand side, we come around the toe, and then the bottom side of the boot, the heel on the way out. From there, that takes us up into the center inner part of the track map, and that takes us to turns 13, 14, and 15, which essentially are the chase heading back to the start-finish line. It is a 3.37 mile, 5.42 kilometer racetrack. It has 15 left and right-hand turns. It is a tarmac road surface. It is a world circuit still used today in real-life racing, and it has an elevation change of 115 feet, and compliments to Miss Devious, our Special Operations Administrator here at GT45 Gaming. I always get that wrong. All right, so without further Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? That's weird. Like I said, I had some PC issues yesterday, so good catch. Appreciate you, Cody. That means we're going to have to keep our eye on everything here as we start the race. So let's go through it one more time. Pole position is Soul Invictus with ATK Death in second. It's ATB in third place with Mustang J in fourth. We have PD in fifth, Matt in sixth. We have Superman in seventh place with Miguel in eighth. We've got Egon in ninth place, Chip Reese in 10th. We got DDR Kilty and DDR Jonesy in 11th and 12th. We've got ATK's Fast Ginger in 13th, your boy Bandit in 14th. And rounding out that grid tonight is Apex Racing's Heathen. He had a disconnect in qualifying, which put him at the back of the grid. I apologize about the no sound, ladies and gentlemen. Glad it's working. Hopefully, we don't have the same issue with our capture card. It could happen, but let's rock and roll. So, I guess no qualifying. That means we get to racing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kick them tires, light them fires. Let's go racing. All right, we got game sound. Fantastic. We're at 5 reds, and we're waiting for those greens to drop. Is it going to be short? Is it going to be long? It's green. We're green. We're green. And Soul Invictus gets a great start there. ATK Death and PD also getting a great start here. Ooh, Miguel getting a little bit of sorts here as we get into the field. Let's hit into the middle of the pack here. Let's get on 6th place driver CB Matt here as everybody's coming through the 90 here for the first time, and side-by-side action for the first lap here as we head uphill into the S's. Lap 1 is underway here. So far, so good here from our Pro-Am division. Great race start here and a feisty race start here as well, and we're still side-by-side in this mid-pack. Egon and Superman just making a smidge of contact there, but everybody makes it through safe and sound. Let's keep walking through the pack here. PD gets some great gains here. He's up the inside of ATB. No, he ducks back in behind coming into the bus stop. Side-by-side is Superman and Chip Reese here into the bus stop, though. And Superman comes out ahead of that battle. And now Jonesy's looking to take a little bit of opportunity here, see if he can grab ahead. But Chip Reese settles back in front around the carousel, and it's game on. Now we have Superman battling here. And a little bit of contact there between Superman and PD. And PD with a great save right there. A little bump from Miguel to get him going again. And he is right back on the track. That is what you call some absolutely excellent driving right there from PD. We have Miguel here. He's just looking to get a move, but he is stuck on the outside here. So he's just going to settle back in. And that now takes us down to 12th place. Your boy Bandit, Apex Heathen now up into 13th. Ginger in 14th. And Kilty holding up the back of the pack here currently. But right now it's Soul Invictus and ATK Death in first and second. And a battle between Mustang and Guardian there up in 3rd and 4th place. We got a side-by-side battle with Superman and Chip again. And Chip and Jonesy both going to get ahead of Superman there as everything is sorting out as they're coming out of the boot sector. So into the chase we go. 2 more corners and lap 2 underway. Oh boy, this has been a pretty spicy first lap here so far from this Pro-Am division. Wow, great racing so far. But Soul Invictus and ATK Death quickly running away from the field here and nose to tail as they come across the start-finish line here on the end of lap 1. And I think we got a race on our hands here tonight. 53.128 from Soul Invictus. Boy, these Pro-Ams are quick. All right, let's go see what's happening here. We do have Mustang has made his way around ATB. We've got ATB now settling into 4th place, and Matt has moved his way himself all the way up into 5th. Egon from 9th to 6th place here since at the start of the grid now, so 3 position gains here for Egon. He is right hot on the trail of that M3 in front of him here with CB Matt. Let's take a quick seat here. Let's see if anything develops as we head into the bus stop. Of course, Egon in that slipstream here now at this point. And it's a rocking and a rolling time through the bus stop on lap 2 here. Nice clean by both those drivers there. And, ooh, got a couple drivers going a little bit wide coming out of the bus stop. Superman's going to get past there by his PD as Superman got a little bit of curb there and shot out wide. And PD's going to grab that position, but Superman trying to come back here. Jonesy is still going to hold his position. PD's going to take a look up the inside, and PD is on the move tonight. And boy, oh boy, he is just picking him up and laying him down, and Superman's going to follow him through. This is a great battle right here between Superman, PD, and Jonesy here for 8th, 9th, and 10th place. And right now it's PD getting away, and Superman and Jonesy still battling. Ooh, Superman with a little wiggle there, and Jonesy's going to get the position, but Jonesy Superman there with the half-second penalty. And here we go, side by side. Jones is going to be on the defensive line here coming into the corner. Let's stick with it here, side by side. So great battle between these two drivers here right now. And we got a little bit of a miscue there by what looks like to be your boy Bandit are off in the background as well, but he gets it back on track. And Superman taking advantage of the inside line around into the chase here, and he is going to grab that position. So a great battle between 9th and 10th place driver Superman and Jonesy right there. And boy, we are going to see a bit of a spicy race tonight. I feel. Miguel here is in 11th place. We've got Fast Ginger in 12th, and he is right hot on the chase here. Kilty sitting right there in 13th as well. Your boy Bandit just settled in 14th, and Heathen gaining some ground here in 15th position. ATK Death now in the lead of this race, and I'm not sure what happened there, but ATK Death now leading this race. So our second race leader here tonight, the first lead change here in our Pro-Am division, round 9 DMJ Vroom Room North America, now belongs to ATK Motorsports Death, and this driver has been improving race by race, week by week. So let's see if he's got what it takes to lock in a win here tonight. We got Sol Invictus in second place, and we all know that this driver's no joke. He can move. So ATK Death is going to have all kinds of pressure from this driver at some point, I do suspect. Mustang J in third place, and he is right on Sol Invictus here as well. So ATK Motorsports is looking real strong here early on in round 9 at Watkins Glen. We got Apex Racing's Guardian here, aka ATB, sitting in fourth place, and he's looking for a minimum podium finish here, I'm sure, tonight, as well, as he is hard in the chase for podium here on the season. Matt in fifth place here, and he's been doing a great job in this M3. He is the first of the M3s up in towards the front of the pack, and looking pretty solid here so far. We've got Egon now in sixth place, and he's just kind of settled in here right now, not really letting those two in front get too far away. Petey, who has made quick moves to get all the way up near the front, something I already had a little contact, got spun around, had a great save, going down near the back of the pack, and now he's right back up into the mid pack. So Petey's been making some moves, and Superman right on the chase here in behind. So Superman's starting to open up a little bit of a space here now on DDR Jonesy. Miguel here still sitting in 10th place, and he still has Fast Ginger and Kilty definitely in the prowl here. Let's sit with this for a minute. Let's get on with Fast Ginger, who's kind of the BMW in the middle of this BMW sandwich here currently, but a nice little battle here right now developing between these three. I guess the question is, are the drivers going to play nice? Are they just going to settle in and stay in that nose-to-tail formation and try to track down the drivers in front, or are they going to battle? Miguel going semi-defensive there. He wasn't 100% sure, maybe thinking the same thing as we were just talking about it, and Fast Ginger just settles in. So some patient driving here right now from these drivers near the backside of the pack here. Kilty's just hanging on in the back end of that as well. Your boy Bandit here in 13th. We got a penalty there for Heathen as he's sitting in 14th. And Chip in 15th here. So it is ATK's Death in the lead, and he has a decent lead here right now, 4, maybe 5 seconds. I'm going to real life races Saturday. Oh, that's going to be sweet, Adrena. Beer, pizza, and a brownie. Ooh. Send some this way. Send some this way. We'll take some beer. Not some beer, some pizza, and some brownie, though. We have ATK Death and Sol Invictus here. Sol Invictus, yeah. Maybe a little strategy coming from this driver here right now. It's hard to say. We've got Mustang J there in third place, Apex Guardian here in fourth place, CV Matt in fifth, with Egon in sixth. And you know, these drivers not really all that far apart from each other. One mistake or 1/2 second penalty, and that battle is going to be rejuvenated between these drivers. So Petey right there too in seventh place, about 3-4 seconds in behind Egon currently. We have Superman here. He's about 2.5-3 seconds in behind Petey. And oh, we had a mistake from somebody in the background there, I believe. I'm not sure who that is, but we do have Fast Ginger getting the job done here. He's now going to move himself up into 9th place. He's gotten around Miguel, and now Kilty challenging here. Miguel is on that defensive line there, and Kilty taking a look for a line. Let's see if he makes a cut back here. He's got a nice tight entry exit here. Nope, he's just going to settle in line. So Fast Ginger here quickly running away from Miguel and Kilty here, as these two are starting to juvenate, have a nice little battle here for 10th and 11th place now between the two of them as well. All right, fantastic racing here so far. Your boy Bandit not too far off those guys. DDR Jonesy here in 13th. We've got Heathen now in 14th position, and Mr. Chippy here in 15th. And I think this is at the point where Heathen actually disconnects. So Heathen does disconnect in the race here. Unfortunately, I believe it's right around this time. But it is ATK Death here, still rolling strong. So we'll have to keep our eyes on this battle up front. We got Sol Invictus here in second. We've got Mustang here in third. We've got Guardian losing a little bit of pace off those guys up front here right now in fourth place currently. We do have Matt here in fifth, and ooh, a 1 second penalty picked up there probably through the bus stop sector as they were coming through here, and he is going to have to serve that as soon as we get out of the boot and head in towards the chase here. So coming up the hill here is where the penalty serving zone is. We're going to see him pull over to the right side. He's going to serve that penalty. Egon's going to take some extra slipstream on the way by here, and he's going to get the position from Matt there. So Egon's going to move up into P5 with that 1 second penalty being served from Matt. We got PD now. He's going to gain some time on these two drivers as well here in 7th, and he's going to bring Superman and, well, Fast Ginger quickly closing here now in behind into the equation as well. Miguel's here in 10th place still. We got Kilty just a little bit off there in behind him in 11th, and then we got a little bit of space between your Boy Bandit, Jonesy, Chip, and Heathen here. He's just letting the leader go by there. All right, so one of our drivers has been having some issues with his steering wheel lately, and I think that's what we're seeing little bits and pieces of here as we're going through the broadcast. But we have Mustang J here really starting to close up on Soul Invictus. So he got you on the big screen at home. Hey, that boy ATV, we appreciate you, my guy. Hi, Nora. All right, let's keep rocking and rolling. Mustang J here in P3. We've got Guardian in P4. We've got Egon in 5th place. We've got Matt here in 6th. We've got Petey in 7th. We've got Superman here in 8th place. Fast Ginger in 9th. We've got Miguel here in P10. Kelty in 11th place. Bandit in 12th. Jonesy coming out of pit lane here. So a pit stop made by Jonesy. We got Chip coming into pit lane here, and you can see the drivers being very cautious. That yellow line on the left-hand side, you cannot touch that line. The officials will absolutely slap you with an immediate 3-second penalty there. So drivers being super cautious on entry and exit here today, as they are both a little bit difficult here at Watkins Glen. All right, so Soul Invictus here from VPR Racing in 2nd place, and starting to get some pressure here from Mustang J. Let's jump on board with Mustang here as he's trying to get close enough to make an attempted move or try to get a position on Soul. Maybe he's just chilling, sitting in behind, but it's hard to say. You can see right now he's got nothing in the background at the moment, so when he's looking in his rearview mirror, he's just seeing racetrack and empty space in behind him. So he does know that really the focus is right here, trying to see if he can get around Soul Invictus here up in 2nd place right now. ATK Death at this point is about 5, maybe 6 seconds up the road. He's just heading into the uphill S's right now as these two drivers come through the 90 here. And ooh, Soul getting a little bit squirrely there, and that's going to slow him down just slightly here as he heads up the S's. And Jay really can't take opportunity here if he times this just right. Maybe a move into the bus stop. We'll have to see what happens. But it looks like he's just chilling right now. He's just content with sitting in behind Soul here at the moment. And, well, no harm and no foul in that part of the strategy here either. But closing up real good here. Real nice and close coming out of the bus stop. So as we head into the carousel here, yeah, might have an opportunity here if he can get real tight in behind Soul Invictus here. And I love the Looney Tunes characters on that race car here this week as well. That's fantastic. We got Wile E. Coyote, the Roadrunner. I think I see Tweety Bird and a Sylvester on there. Who else we got in there? Some good stuff right there. We got Daffy Duck, Tasmanian Devil. Fantastic. Got Apex Guardian here in 4th place. We've got CP Matt now back on 5th place, so he's managed to find his way back around Egon, even after I'd given that position up, serving that 1-second penalty. Egon here in 6th place. Petey closing up that gap. He is within about 1.2 seconds right now. A little bit of a slide coming up the hill there under throttle from Petey. We got Fast Ginger here in 8th place, and Superman still right there in 9th. We're in tow, very close behind. We got Miguel here in 10th place, and Kilty still right there in behind in 11th place. Either hasn't let him get anywhere. Your boy Bandit here in 12th. We've got Jonesy here in 13th, and we got Chip here in 14th. We now have officially lost Heathen. We did know that Heathen disconnected from the race. We don't actually know what really happens in this race, minus obviously the final results, but I prefer it that way to have the intrigue and the excitement still when we're doing the broadcasting. So Mustang's going to take over the race lead here. So our 3rd race leader of the evening, and our 2nd lead change now belongs to ATK Motorsports. Mustang J here as he's coming ripping around into the uphill S's here. That's going to put Apex Guardian now into 2nd place. That's going to put Death coming out what appears to be in 3rd place here in behind. Where is Egon? Egon and Petey are right at pace coming around corner 1 right now. So They are going to be coming hot to trot up in behind Death here. They come up the hill into the S's, but it looks like Death came out just far enough ahead. He might just maintain this gap enough to get through the bus stop and get a little bit of air temperature in those nice new fresh tires of his and get rolling back down the road here again. Fast Ginger here in 6th place. We've got Superman in 7th place. That puts Soul Invictus now in 8th place after his pit stop. Kilty is up into 9th place. Matt now here in 10th, and another track limit penalty there for him. Your boy Bandit also with a track limit penalty here. Miguel coming out of pit lane now in 12th, and Jonesy's just coming around into turn 1 here right now, so he'd be just a little bit in behind Miguel there in 13th, and Chip is just heading into the chase here right now in 14th position. So drivers spread out just a little bit, obviously, with the pit stop sequence beginning, and I can confirm that drivers are on different tire compounds as well. We're not going to say who's on what right now currently, but again, the Racing Hard tire is the required tire here this evening. Watching on the big screen as well. Hey, appreciate you. Hello everybody at the Death household as well. Apex Guardian here in 2nd place is Death here in 3rd. Egon now up into 4th place, of course, with the pit stop sequences starting to begin here. We're going to see a 2-stop heavy strategy for most of the drivers. We might see some 1-stop strategies. It depends on what the drivers have in mind here this evening. We've got Fast Ginger in 6th place and Soul Invictus very quickly closing up here in 7th place. We know he's a quick driver, so be keeping an eye on that. He actually might catch up to him here by the time they get up into the bus stop, as he is already on the back door. Oh, and he is just going to absolutely take the inside there. As you can see, Fast Ginger just giving him the room there in the space, so some communication between the two drivers right there, and Soul Invictus takes a P6 there, and Fast Ginger is like, hey, I know you're on fresh tires, I'm just going to let you go here. I'm not going to cost any accidental mistakes here, and we're both going to keep going up the road. So maybe a little bit of strategy from Ginger. You can try and tuck into the slipstream of that fast driver as well. Superman here in 8th place. Slight opportunity there for him to gain a little bit of time on that position driver of Fast Ginger up ahead of him as well. Kilty in 9th, and he's got some space right now in behind them, so he's got a little bit of breathing room here and not too far off the drivers out in front of him here, about 4.5-5 seconds currently. Matt here in 10th place. He's got a little bit of time to make up here, but once the rest of these drivers make their pit stops, it will tighten some of the field back up here again, I'm sure. All right, so it is Mustang J, and very comfortably about 12, maybe 13 seconds up the road here right now is Mustang J for ATK Motorsports here. Our 2nd place driver, ATK Death, has made a pit stop here. He has gotten around Apex Racing's Guardian here as well, who seems to be on a different strategy than him. So 3rd place now is Apex Racing's Guardian here. That leaves Egon in 4th place, PD in 5th place, and Soul Invictus sliding around the corner there in 6th place right in behind. So the driver's really giving her here right now. Today, Scotty coming in with that share as well. How you doing, my dude? Hulky, you absolute legend. We got Egon and PD. Here we go, side by side as we head into the 90 to start a lap 10. No, PD's going to tuck back in. Egon's going to go defensive, and Soul Invictus is going to get involved, and we're going to go 3 deep going into the 90. Oh, we got contact right there. Soul Invictus just catching a track edge there and checking up in behind PD, and he's going to be sliding around that corner. Oh, we got Fast Ginger coming in behind it. Oh, boy. Woo-hoo, burning those rubber off that race car right now. Soul Invictus, and that was a great save right there by Soul Invictus, and Fast Ginger actually not able to get around him there, but definitely going to do some damage to those racing tires right there. Soul Invictus burning off a little extra rubber on without the intention right there, as he just clipping the edge there as that three-way battle was ensuing into the 90. Three-way battle is not necessarily the best of ideas in any situation. We got Superman heading into the bus stop here in 7th place. Kilty here in 8th. We've got Mustang J now in 9th place after his pit stop. We got Matt still in 10th. We got your boy Bandit now up into 11th. That puts Miguel in 12th, and Jonesy is on the hunt right there in 13th place right behind him, and that leaves Chip Reese here 14th. And of course we lost Heathen, had to park that car behind the wall due to, well, technical difficulties. That BMW for the Heathen Racing team has just been plagued with issues here this season, and just has not been a great season for Heathen, but you know, he still shows up. That team still shows up every week, and they try to get that car out on the track. So much love and a huge respect to Apex Sim Racing's Heathen and that team, because that's some dedication right there. Absolutely, just huge respect. Apex Guardian here in second place. We got PD in third. ATK Death has resumed the race lead, of course, with Mustang taking a pit stop there, so he will be the second time he's led this race now tonight, and that is our third lead change of the evening here as well. Egon's back up into fourth place, and he has the ever so quick Soul Invictus now in tow here. So let's see if Soul is going to make a move, and Egon goes semi-defensive, and Soul's like, yeah, there's lots of corner here, let's do this. And Egon is not leaving the room there to make that happen, and Soul's like, all right, I'll just take it on the outside here, let's do this. And so side by side as we head up into the uphill S, this is a great battle between Soul Invictus and Egon right now here. And Soul Invictus is going to get the run on the outside, and Egon's going to tuck right back in behind. So Soul Invictus quickly moving back up the field here, and the next target is PD up in front in third place. So Egon dropping down to P5, Fast Gingers here in sixth. Superman now in seventh place here. We've got Mustang J in eighth with Kilty right behind here still. And Kilty just, he is on a charge here tonight in ninth place. CB Matt here in 10th. He's closing in on these drivers now with those pit stops. We got Jonesy going up the inside of Bandit. Bandit makes a little mistake there, goes a little bit wide. He's going to take the NASCAR line coming through the 90 there, and he's going to settle back in behind Jonesy. But those racing stewards are most likely going to hand him a penalty there, and well, they were kind to him. They only gave him a half second there. So Miguel here in 13th and Chip in 14th position. John coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, John? My guy. ATK Death in the lead of this race here as we're at lap 11. We're just a little under halfway through this race, and right now it's looking like ATK Death's race to lose, but he has some fast drivers hunting them down here with Apex Racing's ATB, PD, and Soul Invictus right there side by side as they come out of the boot sector heading into the chase, and both of them get sideways, and they're both going to settle in and do this again. A little bit of a bump there from Soul, and they are swapping positions here on the racetrack, trying to find a way around each other. Soul gets a tight line through there. That's going to give him the run. He's going to go side by side with PD here, and that should be a P3 here for Soul Invictus heading into the 90. Soul is like, yeah, no, we're going to take that line. He's going to move back over. Oh, PD goes the old dip and dive right there. Tries to get the cutback going into the corner, but Soul Invictus defends it well, and he's going to hold the position from PD there. And PD compromising his exit just a little bit there, and costing him a half-second track limit penalty there. And Egon is going to start to reel him in there as well. So some healthy battling happening here in this race early on today. Superman in 7th place. Mustang J starting to close in here in 8th place. He is just closing up bit by bit here as Superman is trying not to give that position up. We got Matt now in 9th place with Kilty making his pit stop. We got Jonesy in 11th. Miguel here in 12th. Your boy Bandit not too far in behind there in 13th. And Chip Race here 14th position. 15 started, 14 still on track. ATK Death, right now the fastest man on the racetrack with a 45.837 as well, and he was just purple coming through that sector, so looking to improve that fastest lap time and look for that extra point here as well. It's Apex Guardian sitting in 2nd place, and 8-9 second gap right now to the leader, I believe, just roughly based off of the gap in between the cars. We got Soul Invictus here. He's got about 3 to 4 seconds in behind ATB currently. The 2nd place driver up ahead, he's trying to chase down. PD is losing some ground here on Soul. Obviously, fresher tires on Soul Invictus's car, so not too surprised to see that happening here. Egon just in behind, still trailing in 5th place, and Fast Ginger closing in bit by bit here on both these drivers as they're coming around into the chase. Mustang J here, he's now up into 7th place. Superman's dropped down into P8 here, and Matt is in 9th position, chasing him down. Jonesy in 10th place. Ooh, a little wiggle there as he's coming around the heel of the boot, I believe that is. Miguel here in 11th place. He's on a PB lap right there. Your boy Bandit. You can see Kilt just in behind there in 13th position here as well. And we've got Chip in 14th. So here we go, heading into the bus stop on lap 13 with our current race leader, ATK Death. Let's jump on board with our current race leader here. Just watching on a phone because I'm too buzzed to put the effort in to get it on the TV. We appreciate the support no matter what it is that you're watching on and where you're watching from. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We do appreciate it. Got Ian coming in with that like and a share on the stream as well. Talk about legends. How you doing, my guy? This guy's no stranger to DMJ events. He competes over in the EU side of DMJ as well. He's a very quick driver and a good competitor over there as well. So appreciate the support coming from the other side of the pond here as well. But it is ATK Death here as we're just heading into, well, we're basically coming into the heel of the boot right now. That's we're coming around the heel here right now. That takes us up the the backside of the boot and into the chase. So this left-hand corner leading up into the first corner of the chase here. It's a patient corner, tight corner. Take as much of that exit. From here, you're just going to stay tight to the right side, and you're just going to little throttle lift until you get your rotation right back on the throttle. Move it over to the left side, and you want to stay as deep as you can for as long as you can. Just try to roll the car through the corner if you can. Try not to lose that momentum. Don't hit the wall. That's bad news. And then you just hammer on that throttle coming down to the start-finish line. So right now, ATK Death looking in control. You can see he has no immediate pressure in behind. He's got the lead of the race. He's got 16 minutes to go here. One more pit stop. Hard to say. We'll have to wait to see how that strategy plays out for him as we continue on. But it is Apex Racing's Guardian and Soul Invictus now starting to really get tight together here as Soul Invictus is starting to close ATB up. Told me to say, let's go Chris Reeves, let's go rah rah rah, while waving tassels on my you-know-whaties. Oh, Cody B, we love you so much, my man. Yeah, go Superman, says Cody B. And here we go, side by side. And ATB's not going to dispute this too much there. He's just going to get that, let that position go there. So Invictus now moving up into second place. Now the mission is ATK Death up in the lead of this race. Egon here in fourth place, and boy, he is starting to feel the pressure here. He is going defensive as they come into the bus stop against Fast Ginger. And let's see what happens here as we come out of the bus stop and head into the carousel. Can Ginger get a run here on Egon? But Mustang J right in behind here as well. So ooh, it is getting spicy in the mid part of this race, and that's fantastic. Side by side are Mustang J and Fast Ginger. Mustang J is going to get the job done on the outside through the carousel. Absolutely great move there by ATK Motorsports Mustang J, and he is now on the hunt for an Egon in fourth place. That was a great move on the outside right there. We got CB Matt here in seventh place. We've got PD in eighth. We've got Miguel in ninth place. We've got Superman now in 10th. We've got Kilty here in 11th. Jonesy coming out of pit lane in 12th. Chip in pit lane in 13th. And Nearby Bandit falling down into 14th here. So swapping positions are these Pro-Am drivers. Kilty racing and chatting again. ATK Death, looks like he's right on the tail of Bandit here as they come through the 90. So pit stop sequence, not sure what that is, but ATK Death looking to start to put a couple of these drivers a lap down here. Soul Invictus here as he comes around the 90 in second place. A little bit of a gap between him and ATK Death. And I know this guy is fast, but I think that he's got his work cut out for him here today. Death has absolutely brought it tonight. We got Apex Racing's Guardian. He's now in pit lane. This is his first stop of the day, so looking like a one stop from that driver. That's going to put Matt here in fourth place as he comes into the 90. Egon in pit lane in behind a Fast Ginger in pit lane as well. Let's see what PD does here as he's just heading into... Nope, he's going to go around again. There's definitely no pit happening there just based off the entry. We have Miguel here in 9th place and Superman in behind in 10th place. So some pit stops are starting to happen here again in round 9. And going to be interesting to see how it all shapes up. Kilty in 11th place, Jonesy in 12th, your boy Bandit here now in 13th, and Chip in 14th. So Soul Invictus just going around Chip there. Paradise coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Much love, my man. Hope you're doing fantastic. But it is ATK Death just putting Bandit a lap down officially here, but I think we're going to be seeing a pit stop from this driver this time around, so Bandit will just get that lap right on back. Let's stick with Death. I do believe we're going to see a pit stop based off of what I can see. You guys cannot see that, unfortunately, yet. But, yeah, let's keep going. Rock and rolling. What's up, Scott? Kill. Just a quick stop. Got out of bed for a quick 420. Well, hey, got to get the sleeping aid going. Oh, and Death is going to go around again there. Okay. I did think that he was going to stop there, but Soul Invictus making his pit stop here. As you can see, he's taking that entry lane into pit lane. Good, clean entry there coming into pit lane for Soul Invictus there. Mustang J here in 3rd. Matt's now in 4th. Guardian's in 5th after his pit stop. PD's in 6th place. Egon here in 7th. That puts Miguel and Superman here in 8th and 9th place. And boy, oh boy, are these two close together here right now on the racetrack. So Miguel here in 8th. We got Superman in 9th and Fast Ginger just in behind here in 10th place. Let's jump on with Superman here as he's kind of in the middle of these two cars right now. And let's see if he can find his way around Miguel here. He's going to take a little look up the inside here. He's trying to gain that position. Take a quick look behind. They've gained on Fast Ginger here right now. So the battle is right here between Superman and Miguel here, and this looks like this is definitely a battle. It looks like Miguel's going into pit lane here, though. Superman obviously aware of that. Great recognition, and no battle needed there. He's just going to pick up a P8 position with that pit stop from Miguel. Fast Ginger's going to pick up a P9 as well as he gets around Miguel, and they're going to continue on down the racetrack. So, thought we were going to see a good little healthy battle there, but pit stops happening, so drivers really starting to get those final pit stop sequences in motion here now. We've got Jonesy in 12th place, got Bandit in 13th, we got Chip here in 14th place, but it is ATK's Death very well in command of this race here currently. Mustang J is sitting in second place, chasing and quite a ways away. So ATK Death coming into pit lane. Let's see where he comes out after this pit stop here, and nice tidy entry here there for ATK's Death. So let's sit on Death here. Let's watch that pit crew to work here. He had about a 15 to 17 second gap there, it looked like. Boys are putting the tires on, real clean and efficient. Nice good clean tire change there coming from that crew. They got the lollipop man's like, hold tight man, I know you gotta go, I know you want to go, but Fuel Man, he's dumping, he's loading up the petrol in that race car right now. The boys taking their gone. Here we go, sending him out, get going. Where does he come out to charge up? Pit lane's coming. Where is the leader going to come out of this race? Did he have enough of a gap to hold off Mustang J? No, Mustang J is going to take that P1 here. Where is Death coming out? You can see Mustang just going around the corner right there as he's exiting pit lane here. So he's going to come out in second place there. So he had a sizable gap built up right there, and he is just going to settle in behind his teammate by about 4 or 5 seconds here, and he's on some fresh racing tires. Soul Invictus here in 4th place. We got Petey in 5th. We've got Egon in 6th. We've got Matt here in 7th, and a track limit penalty there. The stewards have been absolutely watching that driver closely here so far. Great race, absolutely Fast Ginger. Great racing here so far by this Pro-Am division here. DVD's guilty. And you know what? Special shout out to McMillan Cancer Support, everybody watching at home as well. I haven't said it enough this season, and that is my bad. McMillan Cancer Support, we proudly support McMillan Cancer Support here with DMJ Vroom Room, whether it's our North American series or the EU series. If it's got DMJ pasted on it, we're supporting McMillan Cancer Support. On the Facebook page, where you comment, is an option to donate to McMillan Cancer Support directly. So if you are willing and able, even if it's $1, $5, $10, if it's whatever you can spare, you're helping a family in need going through some of the worst times of their life. McMillan Cancer Support is there, of course, to help families with the diagnosis, the process of the treatments and everything in between, travel costs and all that stuff. These are non-profit organizations, and it's because of volunteers and people around the world and the viewers at home that they continue to be able to help families in dire need. So we appreciate those that have donated in the past, and for those that are planning on donating in the future, we appreciate you as well. And those for just tuning in, watching the race and enjoying the action here, we appreciate that as well, and we thank you very much for all the support. Miguel here now in 11th place. Let's get back to racing, shall we? Jonesy here in 12th. We got Chip in 13th. Your boy Bandit in 14th place, but it is Mustang J still in the race lead here. The bigger question is, does he need to make a pit stop? ATK Death just made a pit stop not that long ago. Does he have enough in that race car to take this thing home and bring a big win for himself tonight? We've got Apex Racing's Guardian here in 3rd place, and he's definitely looking for minimum podium position here tonight, as he is fighting for one of those top 3 spots in the prizes in this division. We got Soul Invictus, who is our championship points leader here in the Pro-Am division, and kind of running away with the division, but one big mistake here that can change everything. So every position of points still matters for this driver. We got PD here in 5th place, and he has had a great pace this season. Egon here, and Egon coming in with some podiums this season as well. So seeing some improvement from every one of these drivers throughout the season, each in their own little way, and it's fantastic to watch the progression as the season has gone on. These teams are dialing these cars, and the drivers are really locking in, and that's good, because everything they've learned about these BMWs, everything that these crews and teams have learned about the way that these cars run, operate, turn, and handle, they are going to need every single bit of that information for next week's finale at the Nürburgring. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing the green hell to the finale here for 1 hour. It's going to be a doozy. Ooh, it's going to be a doozy. GVG Kilty here in 10th place. We've got Miguel in 11th. We've got Jonesy here in 12th. We've got Chip in 13th. And your boy Bandit in 14th. And unfortunately for the Apex Heathen team, again, that car just not cooperating with them this season. It's been rigged full of plagues, ghosts, and bugs and issues. And behind the wall here again, getting that thing looked at. But it is Mustang J right now in the lead of this race. ATK Death here in second place, and that's about a 10-second gap. It's Apex Racing's Guardian here in third, and that's about a 15-second gap to him and ATK's Death. We have Soul Invictus charging here in fourth place. We've got Petey in fifth. We've got Egon in sixth. We've got Matt in seventh. We've got Superman here in eighth. We've got Ginger and Kilty in ninth and 10th place, getting really close together here. We have Miguel in 11th and Jonesy here in 12th. We've got Chip in 13th and your boy Bandit in 14th position. Petey coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. A little bit of wall contact there from Bandit as he was coming into the laces of the track there. It happens. Tire wear, of course, starting to play a factor for some of these drivers as we're at 34 minutes into this 40-minute race here today. And a Mustang J is leading the way. Hey, I made a funny, you didn't even know it. ATK Death here in P2. We got Apex Racing's Guardian here in third place. And boy, Soul Invictus is charging in behind him right now. He closed up a good amount of time coming into the boot here. So as we head up the hill right here, Soul Invictus is about a second away from Apex Racing's Guardian. We've got PD in fifth. We've got Egon in sixth, being chased by CB Matt just in behind with that M3. Got Superman here in 8th place. He sees those guys just up ahead. He's like, hey, let's go. We got Ginger here in 9th place. We've got Kilty in 10th place, much of the same. He's just trying to track that driver down. Mustang J coming into pit lane, so the race leader has to pit one more time here. Miguel in 11th, Jonesy in 12th, Chip in 13th. Bandit also taking a pit stop here. That is going to put Death back in the lead as Mustang J is coming out of pit lane. So ATK's Death now in the lead of the race. So, our race leader once again here is ATK Death, and potentially the absolute picture-perfect race for this driver this season. He's here at Watkins Glen. He has just under 5 minutes remaining to take this home. Soul Invictus and Apex Guardian here now in second and third place, and Soul has managed to get around Guardian here, and healthy battle. Guardian looking to respond here. He's going to go up into the outside here as we head up into the bus stop. Can he get it done side by side? No, he's going to back down there. He's just going to settle in behind the Soul Invictus there, and at this point in this position in the race, it's definitely not worth costing both these drivers the podium finishes here. So some smart driving there by ATB, but that has left Mustang J really starting to close in behind here. So this is really starting to develop. P5 here is PD and Matt and Egon. You can tell the drivers are that time is coming down here now. It is now or never. Everybody is really starting to push it here now. We're going to see some battles. Let's go find one right now. Where is our first one? ATK Death in the lead. Soul Invictus and ATB starting to spread out. Mustang still trying to track ATB down. PD is coming like a shot out of a cannon in behind here in fifth place. We've got Egon and Matt, and I think this is going to be right now the most active battle here currently for position. They get some rain and green hell. Let's go, says Scott. Ooh, well, you never know. You never know. It is essentially on a random weather model. It could happen. It is Egon here in P6. And boy, Matt is really starting to put some pressure on him here. Fast Ginger here in 9th place. Kilty in 10th. Miguel in 11th. Jonesy in 12th. Chip in 13th. Bandit in 14th. But it is ATK Death here, and we have 3 minutes remaining in this race. This is going to be our white flag lap, I believe, here. So it is Soul Invictus here in second place. We got Guardian here in third. We got Mustang losing a little bit of time to Guardian there in fourth place. PD not quite right there either here in fifth place. But I mean, you guys can see what I can see now. Some of these drivers' tires are absolutely in trouble. Matt has gotten that position from Egon and moved himself up into P6. Egon down into 7th. Superman chasing here in 8th place. We've got Fast Ginger here in 9th. We've got Kilty in 10th. We've got Miguel in 11th. We've got Jonesy in 12th. We've got Chip here in 13th place, and your boy Bandit in 14th, and he has CB Matt and Egon barreling down on him as he heads into the bus stop there. So ATK Death here, and this driver is on a mission tonight. Oh, look at him go. He is almost there. Smash that like button for King Kong. Hey, King Kong. Appreciate you, Pay, man. Appreciate you are a legend, my dude. ATK Death, he is coming out of the boot sector into the chase, and it's going to be at the start of lap 22 for him, and it's going to be close at whether or not this is his final lap. It's scary how red my tires get near the end, says Killed. Joe coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Alright, so ATK Death, here we go. What do we got left on that clock? We are going to see, this will be the final lap right here as Death comes around the start-finish line. So the leader has started his final lap. Soul Invictus is on that start-finish line straight with Apex Racing's ATB just in behind to start his 22nd lap and final lap of the race. Mustang J, he's coming around. He's going to start his final lap of the race. PD's coming around to start his final lap of the race. And CB Matt, Egon, and Bandit all coming around to start their final laps of the race as well. We got Riley and Murray coming in with that thumbs ups on the streams as well. Welcome in, gentlemen. Hello, hello. Egon here in 7th. We've got Superman crossing the line for his final lap. We got Fast Ginger coming across the line for his final lap of the race. Kilty just in behind, much of the same from him in 10th. We got Miguel, Jonesy, Chip, and Bandit here working their way around as well. But let's stick with our boy ATK Death, our leader right now, and he has been an absolutely race of command and control. And very little mistakes from this driver tonight as he heads up in through the toe into the boot right now and down through the sole. A nice little straight sector here that takes us up into the heel of the boot here. And we're going to stay to the left side. We're braking at about the 175 marker with the tires wearing the way they are. Him on the hard tires. And just keep it nice and tight. Don't make any big mistakes here. Move it over to the right side. 100-meter board down into second gear. Roll it through. He's taking it real careful there. First gear, just making sure he makes it around the racetrack safe and sound. And he has 2 corners remaining here. And it's going to be a race victory for ATK Motorsports Death here. 1 corner to go. And the clock is done. This is it. Checkered flag when he comes around. And it's going to be ATK Death with a round 9 win here. Great race from him tonight. Soul Invictus is going to come behind here in 2nd place, and somebody finally has an answer for the Titan in the purple BMW here this season. Apex Racing's Guardian coming through in a great 3rd place race, and Mustang J not too far behind right there in 4th place. Great race from him here tonight as well. That's going to be a 5th place finish here for PD as he comes across, and it's going to be CB Matt to take 6th place with Egon very close behind at 7th. Superman coming down. He's going to take a 8th place finish here for himself tonight, and hey, that team BMW made the full 40-minute duration tonight, so that's a positive here for this driver tonight. We got Fast Ginger here in 9th place as well, and he's coming across that start finish line for ATK Motorsports. DDR GVG Kilty, he is our next one, and boy oh boy, he has got some hurting tires on that race car. You guys can see it. The front left is dead. Left rear pretty dead, so very fortunate that that car has not punctured a tire at this point. He's going to bring it home for 10th place. Jonesy here, he's coming home and going to bring a P11 finish here for himself as well, so great race there for Jonesy as he comes around. Alright, it's Chip Reese, Bandit finishing there in 14th, and Miguel was ahead of all these drivers, so not sure what's happened to Miguel here, but we're going to go check that out in just one moment. GG drivers, well done to all of them, and epic comms from GT as always. Appreciate you, Scotty. Right, I have to go back to bed after working 4 hours. GG's all racer, even Kilty's clone. Have a good one all. We appreciate you, Ian. Absolute legend he is. Chip in 13th, and oh, poor Miguel. Well, you know, it seems to happen every week from one of our divisions here at DMJ North America. One of these drivers runs out of fuel. We've seen it in the Pro Division, and it cost a podium position to one of the drivers in the race on Tuesday. And here we go with Miguel coasting that car around here on lap 22 out of fuel, and gonna roll this thing home for a 13th place position today. So a tough race, a little bit of a miscalculation on the old petrol meter there from that race crew, but looking like he's just going to keep enough momentum to get this thing across the start-finish line here today. And well, in these race cars, when you run out of fuel, you can go redo the starting procedure in them, and it'll get you typically enough to get them across the finish line or into pit lane, depending on what the case is, or off the racetrack at a safe spot. Of course, racetracks do have the safety outruns for the race cars in trouble that are under control, of course, that is. So, but here we go. Miguel's going to just get this thing across that finish line here. Rolling finish here from Miguel here in 13th position. So, GG's to all the drivers, and absolutely incredible racing here from all the guys on track. So let's go get us into some interviews, shall we? All right, we'll give the guys a minute here. So even though the race was done last night, of course, our podium interviewees do have the option to come in and speak with us after the broadcast here tonight. We're a little bit behind schedule on the broadcast tonight, but we were dealing with a little bit of page business matters before the stream started, so, is what it is. But, yeah, we'll hang out. We'll give our Pro-Am podium finishers here a few minutes to pop on into the Discord server here where we normally do our interviews. And GG's. That was a great race by the Pro-Ams. Usually in the mid part of the races like this, you see things fizzle a little bit. You see things die down a little bit. The pack really spreads out. You don't see too much battling because everybody's worried about maybe their fuel or their tire or whatever their strategy is. It wasn't like that tonight. These Pro-Ams really came out to race tonight, and there was just something happening throughout the whole part of this race. No matter where in the pack it seemed like we were looking, there was some healthy battling going on. Some great battles happening on this racetrack again, as always, by these racers. So congratulations to all 15 of our drivers here this evening. What a great race they put on in those beautiful Belgian Motor Works M6s, M3s, and we didn't see any Z4s here at Watkins, not surprised. So it was a heavy M6, M3 field here in round 9 this week, and boy, that was some great racing, and very impressed with the caliber of all the driving from these guys as the season has continued on. And I think these guys want to talk, so let's go hang out with our drivers here. They are ready and they are here. So let's start with our third place finisher, Apex Racing's Guardian on screen, or ATB as some of us know him as. One-stop strategy driver here tonight. One of the very few. He did a elongated hard stint for his first stint, and then he went to a racing medium tire to finish his race off. And unfortunately, he was just unable to hold off that really fast charging VPR Polymath, aka Sol Invictus, for second place, but still holding strong and grabbing the bottom side of the podium here today. So round 9, definitely important points here tonight. Great race from you. Talk us through it, my guy, and congratulations, of course, as well on a great race here.
Thanks very much. Yeah, doing like a lot of testing during the week. One thing I was finding out, at least for me, that the softs were when they dropped off pretty hard, and that just kind of got me a little nervous with trying to get to try and bring it home in one piece. Like I knew my pace was up there. I did some practicing with Def a bit, and we were especially just like on qualifying or soft stints, we were juggling fastest lap back and forth, like in the mid 45s, high 44s, like even in the race conditions. So I knew that the pace was there. I just didn't know if I could pull that off in the race, because that's one thing I'm noticing, and something to look forward to work on for future leagues and stuff, is getting a faster race pace, being more comfortable with that. But yeah, I mean, besides that, after like I was kind of juggling back and forth when the grid was lining up about which strategy to go with, and then I said, you know what, let's just go with the one stop, kind of do what CRF did in the pro lobby and just kind of take it easy. No, I'm on a different strategy. Let think, people are pushing, like especially on fresh tires. Just let them go and see how everything pans out at the end.
Ooh, right there. Absolutely. And, you had some good battles. You had some good, healthy battles. It was a great race start. It was a feisty race start from all the drivers here today. There was lots of position battling early on. There was lots of swapping, but the battles were pretty decisive and respectful here tonight. So let's talk about that. I mean, you had some pretty good battles out there. How was battling with some of these drivers now, after 9 weeks of competing against each other in a series, say, compared to week one or week two of the championship?
Yeah, I was gonna say the battles that I was involved in. I did a kind of a lot of driving on my own a little bit, but when battles would come up, yeah, it was just for me at least, it was just being aware of strategies and knowing where we were on the track and um, if it would come down to letting someone through or like I think when polymath came up a couple times I used my the indicators on the car to kind of let them know I'm either going to stay high or stay low, just for that little bit of communication, just so we could survive a tight corner, or if I need to back off a little bit to try and get on the optimal line. um, that's what I see. It might be a little more like gentlemanly driver in me, or just wanting to survive different corners and just get the car across the finish line in one piece. But yeah, for the most part, this race or other races, like I've maybe only had one or two, incidents on track or some questionable driving. But other than that, it seems like as the weeks goes on, just a lot of clean, respectful, and still hard driving from everybody. But I think going into next week, I think that's gonna, going through Nurburgring is gonna put everyone's skill of that to the test for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We were saying to the viewers a little bit earlier on throughout the broadcast that you guys are going to have to take all that knowledge you've learned, familiarizing yourselves with these BMW cars, all the knowledge that the teams have taken to set them up to get them to react the way the drivers are looking for these cars to react. The drivers are going to have to take every single piece of information they've learned throughout this whole season and throw it all at the finale season. And, well, it still may not be good enough because we all know that the Green Hill, well, it's a famous racetrack and it's just a very difficult, lengthy racetrack. So it plays more on the drivers in a mental aspect, I think, than it really is really what makes it more difficult. And I mean, how do you approach that? You're fighting for podium position finish here on the season. I guess what's your approach heading into next week's round now?
Um, my honest approach with it is, um, I I did a little number crunching this morning, looking at the point spread and kind of like wrote down a bunch of different scenarios in a notebook. I might keep that, to the side of me and just kind of see how things are going. But honestly, like especially, I mean, we won't know until do some testing and all that. But looking at the conditions, it being an hour long race next week, it might peak into darkness. I'm just gonna have to you know bring everything I can. I know it's a little bit different kind of a feel of a track versus GT7 from GT Sport, but all of those laps and miles I put on there, and shout out Ghost Viper. He always likes to do the Nürburgring, especially the 24-hour format that we're doing, as like a warm up track. So I'm just going to pull on all that experience I have and just survive it.
There we go. Absolutely, and a huge shout out. We all know who Ghost Viper Gaming is. Everybody in this community knows who Ghost Viper Gaming is. I'm sure of it. But you're not wrong. He just spends a lot of time as you said, warming up on that track. So some drivers are comfortable with the racetrack, and then some drivers are not comfortable with the racetrack because they're very unfamiliar with the racetrack. It's very easy to get confused sometimes at where you are on the racetrack because some spots just look like each other on the racetrack. So you really got to stay hyper focused around Nürburgring 24-hour layout. But a great podium finish here for you tonight. One stop strategy doing you some good. And I guess any final remarks and shout outs.
Yeah, I just want to say, just like what I try to normally do, just congrats to the other two drivers in the podium. I know we, had our battles when we can, and we're just kind of letting this kind of literally go down to the checkered flag next week for the podium in the championship. Like I said, with all the points kind of crunching I've done, it's going to be close, But yeah, I just want to say, if I don't get a chance to, just want to say, like the congrats to the podium finishes tonight, and just congrats to everybody else on the season so far. And like I said, let's just give it our all going into next week and bring it home and see what happens. But as far as shout outs, just want to give a shout out to the rest of my Apex crewmates. I know, especially for sure, Jake, yeah, kind of shook him a little bit in a practice session, and I honestly wish I was recording it because I was just kind of in a trance or something, and on a hard lap stint. I think I just must have had everything just in the right temperature and everything, but I pulled off at 45.6 on the hards, and I was like, can I bottle that and take that to the race with me? But chasing that dragon all week. But yeah, just wanted to say, yeah, just a shout out to them and the rest of the competitors in the field, and see you in BMW's homeland in Germany.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. But we'll let you head over to the to that clubhouse and get with your team and of course start preparing for that ever so important race next week. We appreciate you and fantastic racing this evening.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to give a shout out just to you as well for comms, and with all the tech difficulties you had last night, being able to pull together this being able to show our race. It might be a day shorter or a day after what they usually are, but you know what? Still got to put on a show, and that's what's more important.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you, my guy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, ATB always well spoken, returning driver from season 2 as well, and looking to slate his name in DMJ history this season in that Pro-Am division. So we'll see if he's got what it takes to have a strong enough finish in the Nürburgring next week to secure one of those podium finishes. But let's talk to our current championship point standing later here in round 9. Even after how things went down here tonight, only coming in second place, he's still got a little bit of a cushion sitting there. VPR's Polymath, or aka Sol Invictus. I love that name, by the way. Again, great race here for you tonight, but ATK Death definitely had an answer tonight. But you had a pretty crazy race. You were fighting through the pack. You had a moment heading into turn 1 there where you guys were kind of in a three-way battle, and you just caught the track edge, went sideways, had a great save, kept on battling and still coming back around for a P2 finish. So talk us through your race tonight, and congratulations on that great second place finish.
Hey, Ghost, how's it going? Yeah, I had a great race. That moment that you just mentioned, there's more to it than meets the eye, but we will leave that for another day. But yeah, I'm pretty good at counter steering, so I'm always collecting 9,999 drift points. At every single track, I seem to just get it right. So I couldn't go through Watkins Glen without getting my points so that everybody left behind.
Absolutely, and I mean it's a little bit of cold trickle stuff going on right there, picking up those corners in certain spots of the track there with those drift points. But nonetheless, I mean it's no shock that you're a very quick driver here in the division. You've been in control of a few of the races here tonight, but a little bit of a change of pace seeing some of the drivers. It put some pressure on you. So let's talk about that. I mean, sometimes it's tough when you're a little bit of a quicker driver in the field, and the races tend to get a little bit dry here. But you definitely had your hands full tonight. So how was that racing for you, the battling throughout the track? I'm going to ask much of the same question with ATB, round 9 compared to say round 1 or 2. How's the battling on track now this late in the season?
So, to be quite honest, I wanted to make things a bit more interesting. Choosing the strategy that I chose would allow me to actually be further back in the pack. If I would have done the so soft hard stint, I would have been pretty much in free air with attack death, basically. So, I knew that if I chose hards in the beginning, I'd fall back because there would be on softs, or at least the people that want to win would be on softs. So I knew that it was going to happen. I knew that it was going to be a testament to my drivability and basically mid battle. So I knew what I was what was going to happen, regardless of what the outcome was. My whole strat was to just catch him at the end, but unfortunately, with the events that occurred, I wasn't able to make up the time. But I'm not surprised, man. These guys are pretty good drivers. Everyone here is really good drivers, so I wasn't surprised that the battles took as long or things took the turn it did because I'm aware that there's some good drivers in this division.
Absolutely, and I mean, well, I mean, this is the first time we've seen a pro-am division here with the DMJ Choice of Weapons series as well, so it's a little bit of a feeling ground here too, and a lot of new league racers coming in this season as well. So with that being said, I think some of these sim racers are really finding out what they are capable of and what their potential is, and I think that really is an attribute to having great competition on the racetrack with drivers like Solo Victus, ATB Guardian, and you have CB Matt, and we have Kilty, and we have Jonesy, and it just goes on and on through this pro am division, just to name a few names out there. But I think at the end of the day, they help teach each other, and you guys help push each other at the same time. So even if you weren't sitting in first place right now heading into round 10, are you still overall happy with how the season's been going and what you've been grabbing from that season?
Of course, I mean honestly, I could definitely tell that people have kind of like lifted the bar as far as their capabilities and skill. I could tell because of the way the podium is. I keep seeing familiar faces. At the beginning, it was different faces, and now it's familiar faces. Like you can tell, people are just getting better. They're looking into ways to improve, and that's awesome. That just goes to show that, one person can pretty much determine the pace of the lobby, and the others would just want to improve just to get a chance or just to defeat that person that's been constantly winning. But um, I just think it's good, right? Because it'll improve the pace of everybody else in here. So it's a good thing. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I get to enjoy myself every time I'm in a race, and yeah, I as far as Nurburgring, I can't wait for that track. 47 corners is going to be the fact of who's got the skill, who doesn't.
Well, the Nürburgring Nordschleife track has 74 corners by itself.
I
The
mean,
24-hour
sorry, yeah,
layout is actually 97 corners, just
I don't
especially
know.
for those at home as well. That is what these drivers are dealing with next week. Each lap around this Nordschleife 24-hour layout is 97 left and right hand undulating uphill, absolutely just mean, nasty, devastating corners. So,
Yeah,
it's
after 47, I'm like off at least by half. Yeah.
it's going to be a challenge, but it seems the overall assessment is, even though the track scares the living bejesus out of probably half the field in both the divisions, not just this division. I think it's going to make for a really great race, though. But if you don't know the Nürburgring 24 layout, these drivers are going to know it a little bit better by the end of next week. That's for sure. So, I mean, you're in a pretty comfortable spot. Obviously, I don't know if it's set in stone yet. I haven't sat down and done the official math on that quite yet. We haven't counted in these points rounds yet either. So, I guess what's your mentality going into this final round here now as you try to secure your first DMJ championship here?
Oh, it's set in stone. I don't. It's pretty much set in stone, regardless of the outcome. But yeah, I'm gonna go out there and I'm going to basically give it in my all as if I do need the points because at the end of the day, it's all about going in there and just putting it all on the line. I'm not going to hold back, especially in the last event. It's going to be something special.
No, I don't disagree with you. I think we're in for an absolute treat for 2 nights of racing here at DMJ North America for sure. I mean, it was great racing by you as always. It's a treat to always watch you on track. You're, very quick, clean, efficient race car driver, and I definitely suspect that we're going to see Sol Invictus up a division next season, competing with those guys up there to put himself up against that faster lobby, and I bet that he's going to do quite well there as well. So. If we see a returning Sol Invictus, I think we're going to see him really looking to have a good competition on his hands next season as well. Of course, with being the Pro-Am winner, it does give him a little bit of an edge on getting into that Pro Division next season as well. So anything you want to add to your race here tonight? And of course, final shout-outs for this evening here as well, my guy.
Of course, I want to thank you, brother, because obviously you put this together, and also everybody else who works behind with you. Um, just want to show my appreciation for what you guys do and take the time to do for us to enjoy ourselves. It's just good times. Also want to thank my girl, of course, my lady, for allowing me to have the time to do this. And yeah, the guys at the VPR pit, just it's a lot of fun. And this is, it's a good time. It's a good time, and I wouldn't change it for anything else. And I just want to show my appreciation for it. And thanks again. And also hats off to ATK Death for the podium win, and also for ATB for his one stint race. It was great, and can't wait to see what Nürburgring has in store for us.
Absolutely, and just a great run here again tonight, and definitely can't wait to see that purple BMW on the track next week.
All right, bro. You have a good night.
You too. Thanks for taking the time. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this guy wanted a podium interview last night, even though we weren't live, and he might have been peeing his pants all day long to get this podium interview going through here tonight. But last and not least, we're going to talk to ATK Motorsports Death. This guy is one of those drivers that has come in as just a sim racer, doing it as a sport, a hobby, hanging out with his team and his buddies, just doing their thing. Got involved because of ATK. Streeter Tom went into the team and then, said, hey, you guys should come check this out. He's jumped into the league, and boy, oh boy, at the beginning of the season compared to now, did you think that your capabilities and your skill level would be where it is at right now?
Yeah, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, I forgot I was on mute there for a second. Yeah, I really do. I knew I was doing well, and I have been doing well. I was even doing, I was running BAs before I started the league. I had some bad races, and honestly, I just haven't been back up there to get my A rating back again, or even my high B. But I've always been a quick driver. I came in, like I said, I had a rough start. I made some mistakes early on. Tried to push a little too hard when I shouldn't have. Didn't really know the strategy very well, the strategy game part of it. But as you said, I picked it up pretty well over the season. It's been good. A lot of learning, enjoying it quite a bit.
Absolutely. And now let's talk about your race. So you had a great qualifying, coming just in behind Sol Invictus there for that pole position in qualifying. You get to the grid, you get a good race start, and by lap 3, you were in the lead of the race, and you started to pull a nice little gap there. Was that something you were expecting to see happen at the beginning of the race?
Yeah, so that was my plan. I'd gone over pretty much every strategy known to man to see which one I thought worked best for me. Got a couple practice races in, got to try a couple different ones. And the right there at the beginning, I thought was the best play. If I could get myself into clean air, I could manage that tire wear a little bit better. I didn't have to run the fastest laps on the track. I just had to be consistent with them. And that's what I aim for. I aim for complete consistency this race, and just don't make any mistakes. Keep the pace up, and keep the tire wear down as much as I can, just to make them last as long as I can. ATB had mentioned the fall off of these tires, and they do. I got pretty good at controlling them once that fallout hit, but it's still, you lose almost a full second once one of those tires goes 3/4 red. So, it really was just keeping pace up, keeping tire wear at the minimum, and, running the race.
Absolutely, and I mean, we all, Sol Invictus, very quick driver. He's kind of the titan of the Pro-Am lobby this season. He's definitely showing his racing skill and his pace here, and it didn't really deter this lobby. Guys like yourself and the ATK Motorsports, the Apex Sim Racing guys, the whole VPR racing team, and a few independent drivers in the series here. The DDR guys. It seems like you've all taken that as a personal challenge, and tonight you got that victory over that. So I guess let's talk about how that feels. You're chasing that driver. He's very quick, and you came out on top of that driver. So I mean, how does that kind of, I guess, dwell on your confidence going into this finale round now as well?
Oh man, it gives you tons of confidence. I'll tell you, like you said earlier, I was jazzed last night whenever I won that race. I was shaking out, so excited, And it came down to the fact that I ran a little bit different strategy that gave me that clean air, and got me out in front of him a pretty good amount. Um, it's super stoked for next week's race. I love that track as it is. I've never really ran the 24-hour layout, so I've got a couple corners I really need to work on and learn. But like you said, this race gives me complete confidence for it. It's going to be a great race, I think, between all of us. And that reverse grid is going to be something interesting because it's just going to cause us a little bit faster guys to have to push through the pack if we want to make something of it. And that's tough on that track. It's tight, but it's fun.
Absolutely, and I can imagine what the drivers that are starting up at the front of the pack. Okay, could just imagine are going through their minds as they get ready for this race as well. And that is definitely the case for everybody viewing at home. The Nürburgring 24-hour layout. Of course, it's a famous racetrack in Germany. It's no joke. It really is no joke. It instills fear into a lot of race car drivers. So, some of the guys that have been battling this season and just kind of learning and grooving and starting to get this figured out, they got to start at the front of this pack, this race next week. So, it's going to be a lot of patience. It's going to be a big game of nose to tail, dirty air driving and bobbing and weaving, trying to find any kind of clean air you can get to get that car to do what you want it to do so you can keep it on the track, and then just trying to really take advantage of, the very few passing points on the racetrack or any mistakes made by the driver in front. So it really is going to be a matter of patience. So I guess as let's touch base on that. You're one of those guys that's going to be starting near the back end of the grid next week. You're going to have to be patient. It's going to be roughly about a 7 to 9 lap race, depending on the pace of the drivers. At what point do you really need to start worrying about pushing towards the front of the pack? And at what point do you just need to chill and just kind of let things happen as they happen?
I think a good amount of that track, you need to just chill and let things happen as they happen. And there's, like you said, there's only a few passing points on that track and real key ones. Yes, you'll pass people, like you said, when they make mistakes, but, actual passing zones, there's very few of them, unless you're willing to put tires into the dirt to make the pass. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to slow us down the first couple laps, but it's a long race. It's all about patience, consistency, and just pushing and pushing and pushing. Keep that race pace up on that track and keep it on the track, and we should be good.
Absolutely. And I can't remember, for some reason I feel like you snaked a win here already this season, but is this your first or your second win of the season?
No, this is my first win. The first race of the season, I took second, and that was only because ATV ran out of fuel.
Right. Nice, that's what it was. Well, congratulations on your first win. First sim racing win too, as well. League competing racing win, that is. I mean.
Yes, that is correct. The first one in the league, and it definitely feels good.
Well, I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the one thing that I love to see the most, and we have seen a lot of it this season, is drivers' first league wins, drivers' first league podiums. We've seen a lot of moments this season in DMJ from both divisions, and that, to me, from the broadcaster and the host, is really what brings it home for me, is seeing the success of each individual racer on the racetrack, whether they're still currently competing or they've had to, step away for whatever real life reason it is. But there's been a lot of firsts this year, and I see the positive impact that makes on the racers and the community and these league racers. And as we're seeing that grow and as we're seeing that develop, not only, of course, from DMJ, but all leagues across the sim platform, it's really starting to stir up a movement in a sense. Sim racing is really becoming popular. It's now an Olympic esport, which, by the way, is absolutely fantastic. So, your thoughts of league racing, say 6 months ago, to your thoughts of league racing now. Is it something that you'd recommend to maybe people that are sitting on the fence trying to think about getting involved, and why would you not or so recommend league racing?
I would always recommend league racing. Since I started this, I mean, it's great to have a group of guys you can grow with and learn from, and like Soul said earlier, him being in our lobby right now is making all of us faster. We're all trying to chase his times. We're all trying to chase his strategy, and and that's something you don't get in daily races. You may get somebody that pulls away from the pack, but you're also going to get punted off the track half the time. And I love the clean racing in these lobbies. It's wonderful, and like I said, you just don't get that outside of it. Every now and again, but even in the higher up lobbies, the A lobbies, the A plus lobbies, it still happens. It's not perfect, you know. So I would always recommend league racing now to anybody who does it.
Absolutely. And I mean, for those of you that are at home, you're thinking about getting involved, or you're maybe thinking about even just trying it out, try it. Doesn't hurt nothing. If you don't like it, hey, it's not your thing, that's all right too. But you just never know. You might like it, and you might just find a pretty cool community to hang out with, and you just might make some new friends along the way. But I mean, I'm gutted for you. I was really racking my brain last night after the race trying to figure out if this was your ever first league race win or not, because now I'm extra gutted that I wasn't able to bring that live for you, my guy. I absolutely apologize. But we still got to bring it to the viewers, and we still got that out there for everybody to watch you pot in that first league racing win. So, yeah, huge congratulations, man. I was super pumped for you last night. Like I said earlier on the stream, somebody finally took the Titan of the Pro-Am lobby down, and it was you. So congratulations. And I guess with that being said, any final remarks and any shout-outs for you?
Yeah. I mean, definitely a great battle from Soul. Like he did kind of get screwed up on that one corner, and it sucks. But if he wouldn't have, I think he would have been right on my butt right at the end of that race. He was definitely pushing to catch up. That's for sure. So great race by him, and ATB as well. I mean, ATB's been a great racer all season. We've had a lot of practice laps put in together too, and it's just been great, man. Meet new people. Everybody else that's in this as well. My guys Fast Ginger and Mustang J, both great racers. I really thought Mustang J was going to be on that podium this week with me. I think he just messed up his strategy a little bit and paid the consequences, stayed in fourth, but it's still a great finish. Fast Ginger's been pushing hard. Both those guys came in real late. They're both doing pretty good in the points. All the whole attack team, man, they've helped me grow throughout the years, or the year or so I've been with them, rather, and get me to where I am now, and get me into these different kinds of racing and stuff like that, not just dailies anymore. Huge shout out to my wife. Every week I will. She's great. She makes sure I can do this at night, and whenever gives me that time to be able to compete in the races. So love her. She is awesome. And then I think I'll just give out shout out to my sponsors. We have Booga Mail, who does all the attack gear. Angela Bailey Designs, making all of our decals for the team and doing a great job with that. And then we got Reaper Apparel Company, some awesome gear that they make and for a great cause. So check them out. And yeah, thank you guys, hosting this, and the whole DMJ and GT45 crew that puts this on, makes this awesome for us. Ready for next week and pumped.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, it's sad, it's all going to be over. 2.5 hard fought months of racing, and it's all going to be over just like that. But I can confirm we do have something coming in the very, very near future. So drivers, get your Reggie pens ready, because there will be announcements coming in the next couple weeks here for our next event, brought to us here, of course, from GT45 Gaming and our amazing partners at DMJ Vroom Room. So, with that being said, the racers, There'll be something else for them to do here real shortly. That means more entertainment coming for all the viewers at home. And most importantly, thank you to, of course, the viewers at home. This can't happen without all the support that you provide the broadcasts and coming in and cheering for the drivers. It puts a smile on my face every single night, seeing all the love for all the drivers out there. To all the families that are watching at home on the big screens, I see you, I appreciate you. And to all the kiddies out there, have a wonderful evening and have a great day at school tomorrow. Death, my guy, congratulations on your first league racing win, and am I ever proud that it was with DMJ Vroom Room North America. It was very well deserved, and I cannot wait to see what you have next week.
Thank you, sir. You have a good one. I appreciate everything.
Cheers, brother, and yeah, thank you for taking the extra time here on the off day to come and chat with the viewers. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for getting this broadcast out. It was awesome.
Cheers, brother. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a great race. 3 weeks in a row, these Pro-Ams have put on a action-packed race fest. NERB 24 next weekend, 1 hour endurance for our finale. There is no qualifying. We're setting these drivers on the grid, reverse, based off championship point standings. The championship leader will be starting at the back of the pack, and our last driver in the standings will be starting at the front of the pack. And we're going to settle it on the racetrack to crown our first, second, and third place finishers next week here live on GT45 Gaming. Tuesday is our Pro Division at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and Wednesday will be that absolutely hard-filled, action-packed Pro-Am Division at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time as well. I appreciate all the support. Everybody at home, you absolutely are incredible. You make it so much fun for me to broadcast. I really do appreciate you. To the drivers on track through both divisions, appreciate the absolute clean, skillful, respectful, great action we see on the racetrack every week. And to my staff, my stewards, and everybody behind the scenes, I can't do it without you. You keep the gears oiled and you keep the machine running. We appreciate all of you. We're going to send it off here tonight with a little bit of highlights from Round 8 Suzuka. Of course, that amazing race was covered by D.90, our amazing EU host here at DMJ Vroom Room. And, absolute shout out to that legend. He's a great commentator. He's a great content creator. And we wouldn't be here presenting these races without DMJ bringing this series to North America and asking us to hook it up. So we're going to send it off with some of the greatest moments from Round 8 of Suzuka while D.90 was covering that race. And we'll be back next week for some more hot DMJ racing action right here at GT45 Gaming. Stay winning, everybody. Remember, you all matter. And have a fantastic Friday tomorrow, because TGIF. Enjoy the highlights, everybody.
a kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing.